So extreme inactivity, and mind you, people are staying at home the whole day. So what do? You watch TV, you watch movies, and you eat. So the very fact that if you are at home 24 hours a day, the only thing to keep yourself occupied other than entertainment is food.
Hi guys, this is Mini Devan and you're watching HealthSite and India.com. Today we have with us Dr. Sharat Sharma, Consultant Robotic and Laparoscopic GI, Fortis Network Hospital. Hi doctor, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mini?
I'm doing great doctor. I hope things are keeping well at your end as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think as COVID is now a story in the backside, so I think we are doing good.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think, since we are still in the middle of pandemic, another much talked about thing is obesity and rise of obesity in adults and children, specifically in the pandemic, during pandemic, or perhaps due to the pandemic. So let's throw some light on this. How true is this? Has COVID anything to do with obesity or not? And let's begin with the fact that how, a, firstly, is this true? If yes, then how has pandemic led to increase in obesity in adults and children?
So it is unfortunately true that pandemic has very badly hit people who have tendency to put on weight. And even those people who, or children or adults rather, who were leading a healthy life did suffer from weight issues or did have a weight gain during this 2 year long pandemic. And the reasons are numerous. So it's not one thing that you can point out to, but yes, the reasons are physical and psychological, and of course political and social. So you can divide them into so many parts. The first thing, of course, that I would like to say is the biggest rather cause of obesity in COVID is inactivity. So if I would say a person would live a normal life in pre-COVID eras, a common man, okay, let's talk of a common man. He gets out of the house, walks down the stairs, goes to the railway station or takes a bus, goes to the office, walks around, just goes around, then maybe in the evening goes to the vegetable market, buys vegetable, comes back home, maybe goes for a walk outside, takes his children out for a walk, maybe in the evenings, but maybe in the weekends they go for a walk, for a some kind of a tour. So this is the kind of an activity of a regular common man. And now you can actually picture it during COVID, during full lockdown. None of this is happening, and you are allowed work from home, and you are not allowed to go out in the evenings. The gyms are shut for those who can afford gyms. Offices are shut, schools are shut. You are allowed to order food at home, so there is enough food. You never had during the pandemic. I don't know if you realize there's hardly any shortage of food. You could buy food, you could order food, the shops were open, so you never had shortage that way, and there was a complete stoppage of activity. So any kind of regular child activity, going out to play, going swimming or gymming, or even a regular physical training activity at schools, everything was stopped. Games were stopped. Children could not go out to play cricket, football. They could not go to the gardens. So extreme inactivity, and mind you, people are staying at home the whole day. So what do? You watch TV, you watch movies, and you eat. So the very fact that if you are at home 24 hours a day, the only thing to keep yourself occupied other than entertainment is food. So you end up eating a lot of food. Thirdly, you are stressed. So there is a lot of stress of money, of work, of school, of studies, everything together, because your whole life has been thrown apart, the imbalance, and there is a lot of stress. So you just eat whatever you want. You cannot eat healthy. So in a normal circumstance, somebody would tell me, oh, you're putting on weight, come on, just concentrate on eating healthy. But in pandemic, nobody can do that because everybody at home is stressed. So you just eat whatever you get. So we are not concentrating on our food habits, on healthy eating. There is no activity, there is no exercise, and there is no schooling. So there are so many factors which have led to increased calorie intake or calorie retention and increase in weight.
That's true. That's true. Also, now let's discuss, the common health consequences or perhaps the side effects of this uh, overweight or this rise in obesity.
So obesity is a package. Okay, obesity never comes alone. It comes with diabetes, insulin resistance. It comes with hypertension, cholesterol disease, fatty liver, and sleep apnea. It has arthritis issues, backache issues. In females, you have the polycystic ovarian disease, which comes in with obesity. So there are a large amount of diseases which come in. So you can imagine pandemic leading to obesity, and obesity which gives rise. So these problems are hidden in your body. You either have a family tendency to them, or you are already predisposed, but you are maintaining it with proper lifestyle habits. Now, once those lifestyle habits are thrown, away, or they are disturbed, you end up putting on weight. And then a person who's a diabetic on regular medications, his anti-diabetic medicines don't work enough. That is because he's put on his weight. The BP medications that the person was taking on a regular basis don't work well, because either he's eating unhealthy, a lot of salt and stuff like that, and he has also put on weight, leading to inefficiency of the medications, and so on and so forth. So lot of diseases which are associated with obesity have risen when it comes to obesity during the pandemic.
Also, now let's discuss perhaps, a way out of this. Like, what can one do in order to prevent it, considering we are still in pandemic, although now that the gyms are open and now you can still move out. Anything else that one can keep in mind or one should keep in mind perhaps, to get back, or to take charge of it, or to control it perhaps?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So let us imagine a scenario where the pandemic comes back with a bang. The cases start rising, and the government says now we are going to have a lockdown again. So now this is a scenario where you will be pushed again to those times when you have to think in a similar situation how to stay healthy. So I think the first thing to do is to calm yourself, and to concentrate on your lifestyle. So you must understand that you cannot keep living in pandemic for years together. So at some point of time, you have to take control of yourself, of the whole family rather, of everybody around you, and think that, okay, this is the time that I am going to, control the way everything works around me. So you start working on the kind of food that you're eating, and then all activities possible at home. I think things, in India, we have access to yoga. So yoga is a great exercise to do, and it can be done in one room. So you don't really need to do a lot of activity or to run around in a big way to do your exercises. So breathing exercises, or yoga postures and things like that, even a Surya Namaskar, if done well, is a good activity for your body. So that is one thing. Secondly, if you have access to go out of the house rather, just taking a few rounds of the building itself is good enough. So even if you have access to certain open spaces, please use those spaces, and make use of them. Like any kind of body exercise. So from 0 to 1 is good. My boss used to say, if you are on 0, when you say 1, it is 100%. So from no activity to 1 is 100% increase in activity. So that is why it is always important to know that whatever you do is always better than what you did not do as an activity. So getting up from the bed itself is good activity. Going out of the house is another good activity. Climbing down the stairs is another good activity. Climbing up the stairs is another good activity. So everything that you do adds up and keeps you healthy. Food habits, definitely. I think over the years, we should realize that we need to take control. We need to eat less salt, less sugar, less carbohydrates, concentrate on the protein intakes. Vitamins, of course, we should take vitamins on a regular basis, because pandemic has really taken a big toll on our health and our, the way we nourish ourselves. So we should take care of our body in a good way.
And I believe, as they say, one step at a time. All you need to do is perhaps just move, even if it's for 5 minutes a day, and irrespective of the fact whether we are in a pandemic or not, I feel a healthy lifestyle is of utmost importance, no matter what age you are in also, right?
So what we are discussing is nothing to do with pandemic, really.
Yeah,
What we are discussing is a way of life,
true. It's a
isn't
lifestyle
it?
choice at the
Pandemic or
end.
no pandemic, yes, this
Yeah.
is how it should be.
Absolutely. I think this has been
Uh,
very, very insightful, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us today, enlightening our audience with such thoughtful words and sentences. So, thank you for that.
Thank you, Minnie. Thank you.
Thank you.